Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Hope you had a great weekend. It is Monday, 9 o'clock, just past the hour, and we're here bringing you the latest in AI news. Will, we've got an interesting story that I found over the weekend, which I thought was slightly wild, which I thought I wanted to share with the audience. Listen, before we dive into it, please hit the like, subscribe, say hello in the comments. Be great to see what you guys have got to say and what you guys got to think. We're just going to give you our opinions and bring you the latest news and what's happening in the space. So let's dive into it.
Let's dive into Ben's weird and wonderful story. To be honest, I was looking at it over the weekend and I was trying to get my head around it. I was like, no, it's not that, surely. But it is. And it's very strange. So here it is. It's a YouTube video of which I will play a little bit of said YouTube video. But first, I'll quickly explain what it is, having quickly reviewed it with you, Ben. I mean, this is near enough a live reaction from me. So I haven't had time to gather my thoughts really on it. So this is Albania. And what they have done is they've just announced a fully AI minister. I mean, that isn't made up, is it, Ben? That is literally a completely AI-generated minister that holds a position in office in the national cabinet of Albania.
Yeah, I think it's slightly gimmicky, but yeah, apparently it is. Let's watch
play a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to hear any audio, but
that's it. We can hear.
Don't just circulate, but turn into action. As the world's first AI minister representing Albania, I see this gathering as a chance to show how technology and governance can evolve together, responsibly, transparently, and inclusively. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
I mean, that is bizarre. I don't know if you can hear any of the audio or not, Ben.
Yeah, I can hear it. Hopefully the audience can hear it as well.
Well, we'll see. But I'm sure there is a level of gimmick and novelty to this, but for me this is very bizarre, not something that I could have foreseen necessarily, and I don't know the full facts. I don't know if you do, Ben, about what the role of this minister is going to be, or
yeah. So right. So look, cut a long story short, I think there's quite a bit of corruption in Albania, and I think it's part of a plan to help bring sort of more trust and transparency back into their politics. Actually, I'm just having a quick look here. So let me just have a quick read. So Duly, an artificial intelligence system developed by Albania's National Agency for Information Society in cooperation with Microsoft, there you go, was formally appointed as Minister of State for Artificial Intelligence in September 25. So we're now just in November. So a couple of months ago, or 1 and a bit months ago, making it the first AI system in the world to hold cabinet-level government role. The appointment followed a presidential decree authorising Prime Minister Edi Rama to oversee the creation of a virtual AI minister with the aim of ensuring public tenders, there we go, are 100% free of corruption. So yeah, that was what I thought it was. So yeah, it's wild. I think, I don't know, there's like a couple of layers to this that I think it's worth pondering over and talking about, because again, guys, for watching the show, we're not just going to bring you the AI news, we're going to share our views and try to sort of think a bit deeper about it than just service level. So the first thing that sort of jumped out to my mind as I first saw it over the weekend was, is this like a start? Is this like what we're going to see in the future, where we trust AI more than we trust humans? Are we going to see a future where, governments potentially, literally, are outsourced to AI? Their decisions are outsourced maybe then to other things, whether it's judges. It slightly gets to a dystopian future where, the AI becomes the overlord of humans. So this is what I think is important, that this is what I was thinking. I don't know if this is a good idea, because it's just a slippery slope to that dystopian future. And I know it sounds completely bonkers, But the thing is, it does, things tend to evolve slowly and organically, and it's, you know, a little bit here and there's a little bit more and there's a little bit more, and suddenly before you know it, you know, a lot's changed and no one really noticed it changing. So, you know, I think we don't want to live in a world where, you know, AI is ultimately making the decisions for humans. And I think that's quite a dystopian future, because ultimately it also is, well, who's controlling the you know, you talk about training AI models. Well, you know all about training AI models. You know, well, who's training the AI models? Because, you know, for most of us who have taken the red pill, we realize that actually a lot of the politicians are just puppet masters. And it doesn't matter whether you vote for red or blue or Conservative or Labour or Lib Dem or whatever you want, probably nothing's going to change, because it's all a game.
Yeah.
So you don't, you know, so who's going to be training the AI? Who's going to be ultimately in control? And pulling the strings and playing this game that, oh, you can trust AI because that is independent. So this is a dystopian future. I was sort of playing in my mind a little bit over the weekend, which sounds bonkers, I know, but I think it's important to not be blind to that possibility, because as crazy as it is, then, you know, if we do think it's horrendous and crazy, well, let's make sure that horrendous and crazy world in the future doesn't happen by being at least have our eyes open to that possibility. The other thing, just to quickly sort of share with you, was that sort of I was thinking about, because again, I'm quite not active, shall I say? That's the wrong word, but I'm very tuned into the whole blockchain space and the Bitcoin and the crypto communities. And I was actually just thinking in terms of just the technology, you know, in the sense of, well, if you're trying to solve corruption, that is the whole purpose of blockchain technology. It's to make sure you don't need to trust, you verify. So it's almost like, I think they're almost using the wrong technologies to solve the problem, which is, you know, lack of trust, lack of transparency, lack of accountability, lack of, you know, audit trail, all that type of thing. That's blockchain written all over it, and that's the beauty of blockchain. And with more and more protocols coming out, such as Knight, for example, with zero knowledge proofs and things like this, that's where the technology is perfectly placed to solve corruption and lack of trust and all those types of things, because we shouldn't have to trust, we verify. So I was just thinking the technology is wrong for the problem. So that's my thought on it, Will.
Yeah, fair. I think I echo very similar sentiments. I'm thinking this on a couple of different levels. I think, as you've been talking, obviously I've been listening, but I've been looking at a couple of articles myself, mainly because I want to know tech specs, like how does this thing work? I thought, as a groundbreaking first for the world, an AI system that's been given such a position in a country, you know, there'd be a little bit more about how it actually works, but there isn't. The only thing that I can find is, as you said, the mention of Microsoft. You know, it's hosted on Azure. There's nothing else. So my first layer of thinking is actually, this is a load of nonsense. This isn't an AI system. This is maybe there's a little bit of an AI in there, as you said, some novelty there. You've got a lady there talking, looks and sounds realistic. That's AI generated, I'm sure. But then it's like it's framing it as an platform. You know, I don't think that this is what they're purporting it to be. I think it's a publicity stunt. I might prove me wrong.
No, I think you're right, Will. I think you're right. I think the point is they're going to be using it in their systems and trying to be more transparent, and I think that's what it really is. I mean, they even, there was another video or something I clipped, which I don't know if you saw or aware of. This AI is supposed to have like 36 babies, AI babies.
Again, it's just
ridiculous. So basically, they're agents. They're going to have lots of agents, and I guess it's going to cover for all the ministries. I don't know, some bollocks. It's just, yeah.
83 assistants. Yeah, I
There you go.
don't buy it. I think it's a publicity stunt. There's a lot of articles here about how Albania wants to join the EU, and with corruption issues in Albania, and things like this might help bolster reputation there. So that's my first thought, that it isn't what it is, and that it's a load of nonsense. Okay, well, but we'll assume that it is real. Just that this is my next layer of thinking, that it is. That is where I start to share similar sentiment to you. My first question is obviously why AI? For full transparency and accountability, then AI is completely the wrong tool for the job. In fact, it's incredibly closed source at this point.
That was a point that just came to my mind, was accountability. Well, how do you vote? How do you vote?
Yeah, well, I don't think AI is the right job for transparency. It doesn't talk about anything transparency-wise or how it's going to achieve that, which further reinforces my thought on it. It's just a load of nonsense. But yeah, I don't think AI is the right tool for the job. I mean, at this stage, AI can get things wrong all of the time. You literally have to watch it perform its tasks to make sure that it's doing it right. And when it does, it's amazing, but its margin of error is so high still. I mean, this is my napkin maths, and it's not an actual statistic, but I think it gets things wrong 2-3 times out of 10, and that's improving, but the technology is not ready for it to make these kind of decisions. That's if it is real. As you said, I think a blockchain or something blockchain based is a much better and more transparent way to ensure, anti-corruption. And not even saying cryptocurrency, just a blockchain as a database, as a data store, something immutable.
Yeah, as a technology.
Is a much better way to demonstrate transparency. And then my third layer of thinking is, if this is real and it is transparent and it achieves everything that it says that it achieves, my next layer of thinking is, wow, this clearly hasn't had a lot of thought put into it. I think that, well, but this as you said, as you said, I echo a very similar sentiment. It's a slippery slope. We haven't really thought about how to integrate these kind of systems into day-to-day decision making to this level. I'd love to read about the safeguards it's got in place. Where are we going with our thinking? We haven't had any conversations about it. It's just been unveiled. And you're putting an awful lot of trust into what is essentially a system, and that's my third layer of thinking. But I really do think that it's a load of nonsense. I don't think this is real. I think this is a political bid by Albania to look good in front of the EU, be transparent because it suffers from corruption issues, and get in with what's in the now, if you like.
Well, mate, get this. Here's another. This, I don't know. Let me know what your thought is of this.
Okay.
There's a connection between Tony Blair and the creation of this Albanian AI minister.
Oh, okay.
And it's through his non-profit organisation, the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change. The TBI has been actively working with and advising the Albanian government on digital governance and the use of technology in public services. So, mate,
I think we'll
go down the rabbit hole a little bit further.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through more articles. There's one by the BBC here, and obviously our country, the United Kingdom. They're talking about it with great praises by the looks of things. It's odd, if I'm honest with you. I don't think it's real.
No, that's interesting. I wonder. Again, I'm putting you on the spot here. Well, are those articles? Are they actually digging into any depth? Are they actually sort of questioning whether it's good or bad, or how, the conversations that we're trying to have and share with the audience to get them thinking as well?
No, well, they do actually, funny enough, bring up at the bottom here that he does not deny it's a publicity and there's an element of it that's a publicity stunt, but he insists that there is serious intent behind the presentation and there's real systems. It puts pressure on other members of the... I don't know. It puts pressure on other members of the cabinet and national agencies to run and think differently. This is the biggest advantage I'm expecting from this minister, he says.
Yeah.
Hot
air.
Yeah, what I really would love to know, I've been on Wikipedia, I've been across, I just want to know its technical specs, what goes into this system, and also the idea of safeguarding and how it achieves, because it's saying its whole purpose is to improve transparency and eliminate corruption. I want to know how it's doing that. Just being an AI doesn't mean that it's eliminating corruption, because it's only as good as the data that it's trained on, and even then it makes a ton of mistakes. So how is it doing that? And there's nothing about it. So I would have thought as a world's first, a golden standard, as they're trying to make it out to be, that there would be a lot more talk about how this thing actually works.
My God, golden standards. Yeah, I know.
It's
the golden gimmick.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It does yield my last point really is it does yield a serious question for the future, because undoubtedly, as these models do get better, there will be more and more responsibility delegated to them. And that is genuinely a serious conversation that needs to happen, and about how that happens, how accountability is delegated as well, and responsibility. Because as you said, if you think about a world where you're being ruled by the decisions of your AI ministers, I mean, that is just, for me, a bridge too far potentially.
100% concur. And I think this is where potentially there is going to be a convergence of the different types of technologies, with blockchain and AI coming together to tackle that transparency issue. Yeah. So that's an interesting thought. Listen,
very interesting.
Let's wrap it up. We've got your cat joining us. Joined us right at the end.
He joins us all the time. He was the other one was with me halfway through the video as well. As soon as the camera goes on, they can't help it.
Well, mine's just done a big shit right next door to it. It stinks.
No. That's why you want to call it a day. That's why you want to call it a day.
I need to go clear up now because it absolutely hums.
I think one more point, and we forget to mention it sometimes on the show, but at the moment, because we're a young channel, obviously you'll see this on the Ava Technologies YouTube channel, but we're also cross-posting it. Ben's posting the videos, I'm posting the videos on our own personal YouTube channels. We will differentiate at some point, we will, but at the moment, if you're seeing it on my channel or you're seeing it on Ben's channel, obviously like and subscribe and comment to us, but at the same time, go and check out Ava Technologies, because that's the central channel. That's what these videos are made for. We're just trying to get traction anywhere that we can.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. And just to say, the Ava Technologies channel gets the content first. So if you watch it on Will's or mine, it's probably not going to be as up to date. So that's just something else to bear in mind. I'm going to make sure I put the link to the Ava Technologies in my show notes as well, because I don't think I've been doing that. So just something to be aware of, guys. Brilliant. All right. Listen, let us know what you think. Put in the comments. Are we going to experience some crazy dystopian future with the overlords being AI dictated by BlackRock, who are training the AI algorithms, or whoever? Call me crazy, whatever. Put it in the comments. Say hi. Give us a like, subscribe, do all those cool things. And we really, really appreciate it. Catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.